YouTube and Snapchat and rumbling bastards. Shake your tits and swing your dicks. It's Friday again, fuckers, and that means your reward for another hard-fought week is here. That's right, it's another nipple-tweaking installment of your favorite internet sensation with libation, the Friday wrap-up. Well, kids, it's Friday the 13th. So, everyone is like extra irregular today, and God knows I haven't counted them all fucking week. So, well, let's rip the Band-Aid off and let's get to the bad news right away. The daughter of the king of rock and roll, Lisa Marie Presley, has died. She was 54 years old. She died last night of a cardiac arrest. Apparently, she was rushed to the hospital. She went into cardiac arrest. She was found unresponsive, not breathing. I guess they pronounced her dead on arrival at the hospital. Very sad, very, very sad news. She was young, 54. It's not that old. And again, another cardiac-related fucking incident within like a week or two from, everything else. There seems to be I guarantee you she was vaccinated. There seems to be some kind of connection. Now, I don't know exactly what caused the cardiac arrest. I'm not going to say it was a vaccine or a booster or anything like that. I'm just saying there's a big coincidence between these things. I mean, look, she's had a history of drug abuse. I don't know if she was currently on any drugs at the time. Maybe. It's possible. She could have had some cardiac issues. I believe Elvis had cardiac issues. So it's possible that she had some kind of hereditary thing. I don't know her medical history, but I just know that it's very unfortunate. I always liked Lisa Marie Presley. I know she was a little wacky from time to time. She married Michael Jackson and Nicolas Cage. But, I always thought she was a good-looking chick. I know everyone's going to tell me, well, she's a dead ringer for her father. Yeah. And pretty girls often end up looking like their fathers. It's the truth. Matter of fact, good-looking guys typically resemble their mothers. So there's some truth to that. But yeah, I mean, she had a pretty rough go. Her son, Benjamin Keogh, committed suicide back in 2020. And even though I'm a big proponent for telling people to kill themselves when it's your kid, that's a little different. I know. Everybody's somebody's kid. Okay, knock it off. Okay, so, I mean, listen, poor Priscilla. I mean, she buried her ex-husband, her grandson, now her daughter. I don't know if this family's cursed or not. Like, I mean, if you think about it, it seems like they are, Elvis, yeah, you say, well, he was so talented. How could he be cursed? Well, yeah, he was very talented. And he had a good career, but he also had fucking people around him that mismanaged him, that robbed him. He was a good-hearted guy, but not too fucking bright. And he ended up, they ended up, working him pretty much into the ground, So I don't know. And he was never happy. There's always something there. And she seemed to have the same kind of disposition. But yeah, I mean, she had a beautiful voice. I mean, unfortunately, her recording career never really took off like her father's for whatever reason. But she did have like a really like deep, soulful kind of voice. So, I guess she's with her father now in heaven. Which always, you always hear that when someone passes away, they're with their family members and this and their loved ones. But how do you really fucking know? That's my question. See, like, I mean, I was raised Catholic, right? So, like, you're raised to believe, you live a good life, you go to heaven, you're a dick, you go to hell. That's usually how that goes. So, like, I always said to myself, like, and lately I think about it too, even more than usual for obvious reasons. Like, like when you die, you expect that you're going to get to heaven, and you expect that you're going to be reunited with, like, your parents, your loved ones, and blah, blah, blah. Let's assume for a second that you do live a good life, you do make it to heaven, and you get there, and you go, and somebody thought, yeah, you're the only one up here. The rest of them didn't fucking make it. You're like, God damn it, I Can you imagine everybody else is in hell? You live a good life. You try to do the right thing all the time. You don't have any fucking fun. And by the time you drop that, you find out they were all down there anyway. You're like, shit, I could have had a good time. Should have banged those Japanese twins in the back of St. Patrick's Cathedral that time. Shit. Then you got to fucking try to get yourself thrown out of heaven by, like, kicking the angels and turning the crosses upside down. So I'm surprised fucking lightning hasn't hit me yet. You get down to hell, see your family, they go, eh. I'm glad you finally made it. You don't know what the hell I had to go through to get thrown out of heaven. Yeah, I know. You should have just ended up having fun in life, because it's pretty shitty down here, too. Or, like, you get there and you find everybody's in purgatory. Like, that would be my luck. Are they serving alcohol down there? Oh, yeah, they have a 5 o'clock special and everything. Heaven's probably full of fucking vegans. So, I mean, like, it'd be nice if somebody would just come back from the other side and go, hey, listen, don't be so nice. You're going to be a little lonely up there. Maybe, every so often kick a midget in the fucking face. I tell you, kids, 2023 just keeps getting better. Well, let's light this candle. Okay, the Hokel Ho. Oh, shit, I totally forgot about today's libation. Look at me. I just got right off on the... Okay, so let's rewind it. Okay, so let me tip my hat to today's libation. Can't believe that. So I'm drinking a Tommy Original here. I call this a bourbon cherry smash, and I made it with Angel's Envy. That's why, because I'm not too excited about this cocktail. That's right. I'm going to tell you why in a minute. Okay, so I got this bottle for Christmas. It's Angel's Envy Bourbon. Now, I am a huge fan of Angel's Envy Rye. Their rye is one of my favorites. And I'm a big bourbon drinker, and a buddy of mine gave me this, and I hope he's not watching tonight. But it's I mean, as you could see, I've sampled it enough I could say this. It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite bourbon. I'm going to tell you why. Because it's finished in port wine barrels. So like port wine is like a heavy, very, very dense flavored red wine. And, certain whiskeys, if you age them in like certain different kinds of casks and port wines and stuff like that, it'll enhance the flavor. Now, bourbon has it has sweet undertones. Out of all the whiskeys out there, bourbon has a sweeter finish to it. You get notes of vanilla and stuff like that. And it's typically aged in oak barrels, and it blends pretty well with that vanilla aftertaste. I can't say the same for this. Because they aged it in port wine barrels, it picked up the notes of the port wine that was left in the wooden staves, and it just doesn't, at least to me, it just doesn't play nice with the natural sweetness of the bourbon. It actually has, it drinks pretty smooth. It's about an 86 proof bourbon, but the finish leaves like a Robitussin aftertaste in your mouth. There's some people that like the tussin. And that's not me. So I'm just saying, so this is like become my official bourbon for mixing cocktails. And you really got to be heavy-handed with what you're mixing it with, because that Robitussin-y taste tends to come out. So I made this bourbon cherry smash to kind of blend in with that, So what I did was I took some bourbon-soaked cherries, about 4, I put them in the bottom of a rocks glass, and I muddled it with about a dash or 2 of bitters. Maybe shouldn't have put the bitters in, so just saying. Hey, listen, not every cocktail's a fucking winner, I gotta tell you. Okay, and then covered it with ice, put a couple of fingers of bourbon on it, and then I topped it off with some club soda. It was a pomegranate club soda. If you don't have pomegranate club soda, little regular club soda and a shot of grenadine will do it. It's not bad, but you're still picking up that bourbon. That's what the after that Robitussin aftertaste. That's why I said maybe I shouldn't have put the bitters in there, because I think that might have brought that to the forefront. But I was allowed to drink up and be somebody. Okay, so like I said, let's get this candle lit. So the Hokel Hoedown. So Kathy Hochul, our illustrious governor here in New York, who I'm still amazed at how she magically won this election. Her newest thing this week is she wants to turn Long Island into a Section 8 paradise. She wants to force affluent Long Island communities to erect affordable housing. I mean, somebody's you need some place to put all these illegals, am I right? So let's, like the affluent areas. I don't give a shit. You want to stick them in like the fucking shitholes on the island. That's fine. There's a couple of... Stick them out east somewhere. Like, I don't know, fucking Ridge, Gordon Heights, Riverhead. Nobody wants to fucking go out there anyway. So put them over there, Middle Island. They already got them anyhow. But leave fucking Nassau County alone. It's nice over here. We like it the way it the fuck it is. So this jerk-off wants to stick these fucking affordable housing in a nice area. Why? So we could turn it to New York City? I mean, it's retarded. It really is. And then she also wants to ban gas, heat, and cooking in any new construction buildings. Okay, this is like going along with what the feds want to do. The feds want to ban gas stoves, period. Like, it's been a big thing this week. Some jerk-off in the fucking White House, in the Biden administration said, gas stoves lead to, like, asthma. And no, it doesn't. Okay, we've been cooking with fucking propane and gas stoves since the beginning of fucking time, and it's not a problem. These people with their green fucking initiatives, I wish somebody with a brain would actually come up with some real fucking facts. Gas stoves are not affecting the world in any negative way other than producing perfectly cooked fucking food, okay? You can't ban gas stoves. This is not communist China. Although it's starting to turn into it, it still hasn't gotten there yet. I'd love to see the day when some federal fuckface knocks on my door and says, we need your stove. Instead, they're going to get a face full of fucking lead. Okay? You're going to take me in. You're going to take me for something good. It's ridiculous. First of all, anybody who wants to cook on an electric stove is a fucking moron. Okay? You don't really belong in a kitchen if you think an electric stove is just as good as a gas stove, because it's not. I've purposely not moved into apartments or have bought houses because they had electric stoves. Swear to fucking God, I can't live. I had an electric stove in a house once. It was misery. Misery. It was fucking misery. Yeah, they're horrible. They're just garbage. So, like I said, so she wants to ban gas stoves and gas heating in any newly constructed buildings. I mean, it must be nice having a brainless, raving, drunken idiot for a fucking governor, because anytime somebody in the state senate says something, or a lobbyist or a donor says, oh, that's great, okay, because everything's a good idea when you're fucking drunk, right? Oh, God. Okay, on another Biden blunder. Well, Joe Biden stole classified documents when he was a vice president. So, there was that whole investigation with Mar-a-Lago and everything, and he said, oh, Trump is, selling secrets to foreign nations and all kinds of nonsense. Well, apparently Joe Biden was doing that long before Trump. Not to say Trump was doing that, because he wasn't. Let me give you the difference. Here's why this is a problem, okay? When Trump, as the president, he could declassify anything he wants. So he was very transparent about it. He goes, I'm taking these documents, I hereby declassify them, and boom, he took them all to Mar-a-Lago. That whole thing, that whole investigation, the raid and everything, it's all political fucking theater. It's just another way that they're trying to fucking, just stop him from running or stop him from, doing anything. Now, Biden, when he was VP, does not have authority to declassify anything, nor does he have authority to take documents from the White House. And he did. And not only did he take, but he moved them around. So, first set of documents were discovered at the Penn Biden Center, or Penn University Penn Biden Center in D.C. It's a think tank. It was a grant from Penn University. And he had a private office there, Joe Biden. And classified documents were found there, allegedly by a team of attorneys. When did fucking lawyers become movers, right? I don't hire my lawyer to move me, right? So, and apparently these documents were discovered in early November. We're just hearing about them now. This is old news, okay? We're just hearing about it now. And the reason we're hearing about it now, the reason they swept it under the fucking rug, was because it was right before the Senate and congressional midterms. So if a scandalous thing like this should come out about the sitting quote-unquote president, that might influence the election and swing it in the Republicans' favor and cause a red wave. So let's suppress the news, let's suppress the information so that voters cannot make an informed vote. You know, I don't know about you or you YouTube fuckers that are like, you know, watching the channel and like ready for me to say something so you can yank my... I don't know about you guys, but where I come from, that's called tampering. Okay? That's election tampering. Okay? You should put all the information out there, good, bad, or indifferent, regardless of whether it's favors Republicans or Democrats, and then let people make a fucking informed vote. Okay? Maybe then you could say you have an election with integrity. Every election that we've had, okay, the past couple of elections, I'm not even going to go back because you know what I'm going to say. It's just been a travesty. You can't trust the fucking results from anything, okay? Because they do shit like this. And you don't tell me that an election is not fixed or rigged or whatever. So anyhow, bottom line is, Joe Biden, when he was VP, removed documents from the White House. And he sat on them for 6 fucking years. Okay? Not only did he move them once, but multiple times, because as he's addressing the fucking documents that were found, oh, I didn't know they were at the Penn Biden Center. How'd they get there? Carrier pigeon? I mean, I get it. The guy doesn't know what fucking day of the week it is, and now his stupidity is working in his favor. But as he's talking about this, breaking news comes across the screen. More documents were found in his house. So he had 3 sets of documents, right? All top secret, all classified, none of which should have been removed. This is a crime. Trump removing documents from the White House is not a crime because he was a sitting president. He could declassify. He can't do that. So this is treason. Now, the documents are sensitive and top secret information, intelligence reports on China, Ukraine, Russia, not China, sorry, Iran, not China, the United Kingdom, and subsequently the Penn Biden think tank was funded by anonymous Chinese donations. Matter of fact, there was a lot of anonymous Chinese donations made to UPenn too. Just, because they funded the Biden think tank. So, I mean, I'm not saying that Joe Biden sold secrets to foreign governments. But we don't know who's been in touch with those documents. We don't know if Hunter touched it. We don't know anything because the second and the third set were found in his house. One was found in a storage room, and the third set that contained the most top secret information, believe it or not, was found in a box next to his fucking Corvette in the garage. And when questioned, Biden goes, "Well, the Corvette's in a locked garage." Yeah, sometimes we leave our garage door open. Okay, anybody could go in there. So, point is, Trump took documents from the White House when he was president, declassified them, and wanted to keep them for his own personal use or whatever. Right, wrong, or indifferent, he at least went by the book. He was transparent about it, and he cooperated with the feds, and he had everything in a secured location locked. This guy had everything moved around, left around, and he had to move them multiple fucking times. That's my point. So, I mean, what, all of a sudden we forgot we had him? Okay. So they had to appoint an independent counsel to investigate Joe Biden's stupidity. And Joe Biden saying that Trump was irresponsible. This guy didn't even know what the fuck he had anymore. Who's more irresponsible? I hope he gets impeached. I know I said it's probably not a good idea, but now I think it is because the number 3 person in line for the presidency is Kevin McCarthy. Not my first choice for president, but if you got rid of Biden and Kamala, at least we got somebody with a fucking brain in their head in the White House. So, also, Joe Biden got the Salvation Army confused with Secret Service recently. You really can't blame them. They both start with an S. All right, kids, 52 farts. Let her rip. Okay, so, again, off the top of the deck here. Oh, that's the bottom of the deck. All right, so today's fart is called a brown bubble. This is an occurrence of gastrointestinal emissions that are released while an individual is submerged in water. So if you're actually in a pool or in a bathtub or a hot tub or a jacuzzi and you're thinking no one's watching and you go, and it just bubbles up to the top, and then when that last bubble pops, oh, it's like fucking New Year's Eve, kids. So there you go, a brown bubble. All right. All right, kids. Get your tickets out. We're about to hop onto that maniacal, magical express into mayhem and fuckery. The crazy train's about to leave the station. All aboard! Woo-hoo! First stop, Long Island. Well, a peeping Tom put a cell phone camera in the tanning room of a Planet Fitness on Great Neck Road to record some 20-year-old chick tanning. What the fuck is wrong with people? Look at this degenerate, first of all. Okay? Give you 3 guesses where he's from. I never understood this, why people do this. It really just puzzles me because, all right, I get it if you didn't have like internet or anything like that, okay? But, you know, there's no reason to do this. This is a stupid crime. You could Google image almost any fucking kind of depraved image you want, okay? Like if you want to see fucking midgets, fucking goats, I'm sure you could Google image that, something's going to come up, okay? You know, I mean... Or go on like one of these like, you know, free porn sites or something. Like I don't see how you get off filming some person tanning naked. First of all, they're only naked for like a hot minute, then they hop right into the tanning bed, they close the lid. I mean, what are you looking at? I mean, what the fuck are you doing, you sick bastard? All right, next stop, Washington, D.C. So, during the entire Speaker of the House debacle last week, which if you notice... ended rather quickly when I said I would happily take the job. In case you missed that, okay? Last week I said I'd happily take the job, and all of a sudden they were able to elect the speaker. So this whole nonsense was not without its comedy. Apparently everyone was fed up with Matt Gaetz and his fucking bullshit, being the last holdout and just being mentally irregular. But Congressman Mike Rogers from Alabama went absolutely batshit crazy and tried to kill him. As a matter of fact, he had to be physically restrained. Look at this guy. Look at his head. What the fuck is going on with his hair? It looks like a hat. It looks like a Lego. Like, you know, like those Lego people? Like, little, that's what it looks like. I wish they wouldn't have restrained him. I mean, that would have been amazing TV. You know, if he just went crazy. Bit Matt Gaetz' nose off his face. Oh God, they're all everyone in charge is fucking nuts. Stupid nuts. All right, next stop, Missouri. So the headquarters of 8th Avenue Foods, that's the holding company that owns Ronzoni Pasta, is located in Missouri. Now, what does all of this have to do with the crazy train, you might be wondering? These fucksticks are discontinuing Pastina, okay? What the fuck? 2023 is a piece of shit, and so are these motherfuckers. How do you cancel Pastina? It's Italian comfort food. I mean, we all, if you were Italian, especially if you were Italian, if you weren't, I feel bad for you, but we all grew up on this shit. All of our nonnas could make this stuff, could whip this shit up in like a heartbeat. They could be half dead. They have some Pastina. Done. 1, 2, 3. I mean, I wish I could duplicate how my grandmother made it. I watched her do it 100 times. I tried to make it just like her. It comes pretty damn close, but there's always something missing. But, I'd rip somebody's fucking arms off for a bowl of my grandmother's pastina. But we all grew up on that. When you were sick, you got homesick, fuck chicken soup. You got pastina. You know, that stuff would cure anything. You're hungry, it's cold. It's got a cold like afternoon, like a cold Saturday afternoon. You make a little pastina for lunch. Oh my God, it was the best thing in the world. I mean, countless of generations have grown up on pastina. I don't understand. You're a pasta company. How do you not know how to make... It's just their little stars. What is so fucking difficult about this? If the star is too hard to make it a dot. Nobody cares. You don't discontinue pastina. 2/3 of New York is ready to like fuck. I want everybody to just stop buying fucking Ronzoni pasta. It's not really the best pasta anyway. There's plenty of other pasta companies out there. Make your own if you have to. It's real simple. Boycott fucking Ronzoni. Fuck them. All right, next stop, San Francisco. Owner of an art gallery hoses down a homeless woman outside of the art gallery because she smells and refuses to move. And she's causing the gallery to lose business. Look, I don't fucking blame this guy at all. This guy's got a fucking big art gallery in San Francisco. Matter of fact, they sell like Warhol pictures and shit like that, right? So there's some fucking homeless degenerate woman just camped outside his galleries, chasing away all of his high-profile customers, costing the guy money. He's asked her to move. She won't move. He's called the cops. They're fucking useless. So it's like the cops in San Francisco are like a dick at a fucking lesbian orgy. Like, it just, no. Okay? It's useless. So, I mean, a guy's dick in it. Let me rephrase it. Guy's dick in a lesbian orgy. So, I mean, the guy did the next logical thing. He got a fucking hose and started hosing it. He should have used a power washer and blew her fucking nose off her face. And all these brain-dead, woke liberal fucktards are now losing their mind that this guy did this. I think he should get a fucking medal. I can't say I wouldn't have. I probably would have thrown bleach at her first and then hosed her down. Really got her good and clean. Next stop, India. We're going across the pond. So, an Indian man by the name of Shankar Mishra was on a flight back to India. He got exceptionally drunk and he pissed on the woman next to him. Not, like, he actually stood up, whipped out his dick and peed on her. Oh, why are you talking so much? What is the bathroom? Just stood there in the aisle fucking peeing on her. I don't know if like he saw the dot on her head and thought that was like the bullseye in the fucking urinal. Just pissed all over it. Sat back down and went to sleep. Clearly, the woman complained that the flight attendants didn't do enough to stop this from happening. What did she want them to run over there with a cup? Who gets up and just... I mean, this guy must have been remarkably drunk. Maybe she was an annoying passenger. Listen, I've had a few of them annoy the piss out of me on a fucking plane. I wanted to get up and... I could see why the guy just got up. He was a little drunk. What? You're talking too much. Why are you... Don't you just shut up? Well, funny thing was he was actually a high-ranking executive at Wells Fargo in India. So needless to say, he was arrested and fired. I can't imagine what an Indian prison is like. Oh, Shankar, what are you in for? Oh, very bad thing. I got so drunk on an airplane, and then I peed on a woman. Very bad. All right, kids, your sports update. Well, NFL, it's wild card weekend. So, here's a 6-game parlay with picks. Now, what the hell? Oh, God. One of those sports betting apps, and I can't think of the name of it, just flew out of my head. They're running a special. DraftKings, thank you. Okay, DraftKings is running a special. It's a 6-game parlay. If you pick up a 6-game parlay and all 6 of your teams win, you don't have to cover the points. You just got to bet win or lose for like $100. For every $100 you bet, it's $900 return. Not bad. So, if you want to go on DraftKings and place a simple bet, I got you covered. So here you go. Here's your games and my picks. Seahawks versus the Niners. Saturday, 4:30. 49ers take this game. Chargers versus the Jaguars, Saturday, 8:15. I'm going to give the Jaguars the home field advantage on this one, and I say they beat the Chargers. Dolphins play the Bills Sunday at 1 o'clock. Do I really need to tell you who's going to win this fucking game? Bills mop the field with the Dolphins. Giants play the Vikings Sunday at 4:30. I'm going to go with my boys Big Blue on this. They beat the Vikings. Ravens play the Bengals Sunday at 8:15. I'm going to give it to the Bengals because the Ravens, they suck. Cowboys play the Buccaneers on Monday at 8:15. They're playing the Bucs in Tampa. Tom Brady, Cowboys don't have a shot on this one. I give it to the Bucs. So those are your games. Those are your picks for the wild card weekend. NHL, Rangers play the Canadiens Sunday at 5 o'clock, and then the Islanders play the Canadiens Saturday at 7. So it's a Canadian weekend, eh? NBA, Nets and Thunder Sunday at 6 o'clock. Knicks versus the Wizards tonight at 7. And then they play the Pistons Sunday at 1 o'clock. Bulls and Thunder tonight at 8. And the Warriors Sunday at 3:30. Okay, kids, on Tommy's Pub and Grub Review. I got a couple of them today. So I mentioned in a previous show that I lifted my ban on Chinese food. But I'm looking specifically for Chinese restaurants, like a sit-down Chinese restaurant. So I told you about the Orchid. Don't waste your time or your money. Now, there's another place in Lynbrook that I keep passing. And I always laugh and make fun of the fucking name of the place. The name of the restaurant is called So Far, So Good. Swear to God, it's right on Broadway off of Merrick Road. So I always pass, and I hear a lot of good things about it. So was it last Sunday? Yes. I decided, fuck it, I'm going to go for Chinese food. So I go over there, and I got to tell you, I was very fucking pleased. It's a nice-sized restaurant. It was crowded, so, the food was pretty good. It had a fast turnover. The service looked like it was all right. I'm looking at the dishes as I'm sitting down. Looked okay. So I said, all right, this may work out. So I started off with, I have like certain standards by how I judge a Chinese restaurant. So I started off with the boneless roast pork. I mean, I got to tell you, it was pretty damn good. I mean, usually when you get boneless spare ribs like that, they're overcooked. Okay, and they're usually like chewy and dry and just not good eating. Typically, I like to order them with a little extra barbecue sauce. I didn't this time around. It could have probably used it, but I got to tell you, the pork was nicely cooked, still unctuous, still tender, not very chewy. It was actually really good. I was very impressed with it. Matter of fact, I took half of it home and had it for lunch the next day. So for dinner, I decided to go with the classic tried and true combo. So I went with the sesame chicken combo, which came with roast pork fried rice, an egg roll, and wonton soup. The soup, classic Chinese wonton soup. It had a nice broth. It wasn't like dishwater. The wontons were still al dente, had a nice amount of meat inside. Could have used a little bit more roast pork, but I mean, again, granted, it was only a cup of wonton soup. The egg roll was pretty good, standard egg roll. Nothing to dislike about it. Not like over the top impressive, but still very good. And I'll have to tell you this: the sesame chicken was spot on. It was, you could tell you were eating chicken. It was nice and crispy, wasn't soggy, juicy. The sauce wasn't overly sweet, not too thick, not too thin, so the consistency was good. So overall, I give this one out of, probably on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give it about a 7-1. It was a good Chinese, good classic Long Island Chinese restaurant. I mean, nothing will ever top Sammy's Noodle Shop on Broadway in the city, but this is getting pretty close. So definitely better than the Orchid. If you're in the Lynbrook area, you need a good little sit-down Chinese restaurant. It's a nice place. It's pretty big. There's a lot of good people watching there because there's a lot of fucking mutants around there. So I would say go check out So Far, So Good. All right. My next review is on one of my favorite restaurants. And when it comes to Italian restaurants, you know I'm very picky. So if I say one is good, it's fucking good. There's a place in Farmingdale called Vespa, like the scooter. It's a very, it's not your traditional, Italian restaurant. It's very upscale, very modern, but they put modern riffs on classic Sicilian dishes. I've never really come across, I shouldn't say never, but it's been a long time since I've come across an Italian restaurant that's predominantly a Sicilian restaurant. A lot of the dishes on there are Sicilian, authentic Sicilian dishes or Sicilian inspired. And me being half Sicilian and growing up with that, that's probably why this place is one of my favorites. And I go here a lot. So was it Tuesday? I think it was. It was Tuesday night. It was an impromptu thing. Me and a couple of my boys decided to get together and have dinner. We haven't done that in fucking forever. So they asked me, where should we go? I suggested Vespa. And they go, why would you be willing to drive all the way out to Farmingdale? Because I love classes. Because I know the fucking food is that good. And it's like, what should we order? I'm like, I got you. So I took over, and my buddy looks at me, he goes, fuck you. Like, would you memorize the menu? I'm like, no, I come here a lot. Because the food is amazing. First of all, it's owned by the Lamonaco family. along with the restaurant group that they're partnered with. They own quite a few restaurants in the Farmingdale area. They own Vespa. They have another Vespa in Northport, Vespa's Chop House. They also own, there's a chicken place down the block called Kickin' Chicken, and they also own across the street Harley's American Grill, also very good. And coming soon, they got a pizzeria on the corner called Daler's, like Farmingdale is there. So the food here is amazing. They have bar pies. The pizza's good. My only gripe about the pizza is that it's not made to order. It's wood-fired pizza. It's fresh made. It's made daily. But rather than have a pizzaiolo stand there all night long, I guess he comes in, bangs out like, 60, 70 pies, puts them on a sheet pan in the walk-in, and then they're cooked to order. So, like, if you have any alterations on the pizza that you want, they can't do it. Like, one time we were sitting at the bar, we just wanted something to pick on, and we ordered a bar pie. And like they have like a clam pizza, but it had spinach in it. I can't eat spinach, so I asked him if they could just not bake it with the spinach, and he goes, no, we can't do that. I said, what do you mean can't do that? He goes, well, they're pre-made. So I understand. Now, me being a pizza guy, I don't like that, but I have had their pizza, and I'll tell you the truth, it's not frozen. They're running the oven at the right temperature. It's just a little north of 1,000 degrees. When you throw the pizza in there, it gets the nice char. There's no flap. It's got a little crisp. But the only thing is, if you don't like what's on the pizza, they're not taking it off because they're not made to order. They're made fresh, but they're not made to order. So that's the only gripe I have. But everything else on the fucking menu is amazing. So we started off with one of my favorite things in the world called pane and panelle. Now, pane and panelle is like Sicilian peasant street food. It's like Sicilian falafel. In the Sicilian culture, there's a lot of Middle Eastern influence. I'm not going to get into the whole fucking history of it. Falafel's made out of chickpea flour. Well, this is kind of the same thing. It's fried chickpea flour, only they flatten it on a sheet. My grandmother used to make this all the time. And until I saw it on the menu, I hadn't had it in probably fucking 30 years. And I used to, it was like one of my favorite things as a kid because she would make it quite a bit. And so you take chickpea flour, you cook it almost like a polenta, and then you flatten it on a sheet pan, you chill it, you cut it into squares, you bread it lightly, usually with like a little, like maybe some light breadcrumb or a little flour, and then you fry it. And like a fritter. And then you put it you stack it either on a roll or Italian bread with a schmear of fresh ricotta and a little squeeze of lemon. Oh my God, it's the most amazing fucking thing in the world. So that was an appetizer that they have. So I introduced that to them. They thought it was great. And it's one of my favorite things. Then they have meatballs and burrata. And I don't really like to order meatballs anywhere because they usually suck, but their meatballs are good. And then, of course, you put burrata with anything. You got my attention. One of their famous appetizers, aside from their arancini and the pane and panelle, is their clams Vespa. It's like baked clams to the next level. They bake the clams with some cheese in it, and then they cover it in this garlic cream sauce. Oh my God! You know what? All you need is that and a loaf of bread. From time to time, I'll go in there and I'll have, because they make a lot of their own pastas. They make the pappardelle they make themselves. So sometimes I'll ask them, just do me a favor, give me some pappardelle with the clams Vespa on top. It's not on the menu. It's a Tommy special, but if you ask, they'll do it for you. Okay, their ossobuco is fucking delicious. All of their entrees. I've pretty much run through this entire menu, give or take a few items that I hadn't had yet. One of my other favorite pasta dishes, there's a couple. One of them that I had my buddy try it was called bastumbriago, which is bucatini pasta that they cook in red wine instead of water. So it gets this nice burgundy color to the pasta, and then they toss it with some Sicilian olives and a little extra virgin olive oil. It's simple, but so delicious. Linguine and clams is good there. One of my favorite pasta dishes there is also pasta con le sarde, which is a traditional dish from Castellamare del Golfo. Now, Castellamare, Sicily is where my grandfather's from. So he used to make this a lot. You can make it pretty much with any kind of pasta, but traditionally it's made with like these ringlets. I forgot what the hell they call them, but it kind of looks like an adult version of SpaghettiOs. Like they're just these big pasta rings, and they're made. It's so you take some sardines. I know. You saute it with olive oil, garlic, fennel, a little cauliflower, and you toss it and you toss it with the pasta, and then you cover it with like a gremolata, like a sprinkle of breadcrumb and some good grated pecorino romano. Stuff will do you good, man. You'll be burping up sardines for a while, but it's okay. Okay. Me personally, I tried a dish that I haven't had before. It was a chicken dish. Now, reason is I haven't had this before is because I don't like chicken. I don't hate it, but I don't like it. It's not something I should typically order. But for like the last 2 weeks, I've been force feeding myself chicken because I had, and occasionally like a pork chop here and there or a piece of veal. I've been trying to stay away from like beef or steak because I've been eating too much of it. So like from Christmas to like, till whenever the hell I went to Rothman's, I was like on like a beef overload, so I needed to lighten the load a little bit. So I've been force feeding myself chicken. So normally when I go to an Italian restaurant, I never order a chicken dish, but I still wanted to stay a little bit on the lighter side. So I ordered this dish called Pollo Brassado. Now, I would not recommend a chicken dish to anyone, anywhere, usually. There's exceptions, and this is one of those exceptions. This was so delicious. I want to go back and order it again. It was boneless chicken thighs, which I don't know if they sauteed them or roasted them, but with peppers and onions and potatoes and sausage, and it was in this like tomato demi-glace. It was like a brown tomato sauce. The gravy was, I just wanted to fucking start licking it out of the bowl like a dog. The chicken was perfect. And chicken thighs, if I'm going to eat chicken, I prefer like the darker meat because it's got more flavor, it's moister. Chicken breast is, unless you're going to fry it like a cutlet, I'm not interested. But this was just the medallions of chicken with the spicy Italian sausage. The potatoes were like, it wasn't like an overload of potatoes, just a little bit with the peppers and the onions, with the gravy, the tomato. Oh my God, it was. You could have stuffed a friggin' torpedo roll with this thing, and I would have went to town. But the gravy that it was in was just heaven. It was velvety. It was delicious. You go. I don't know how they don't put this over pasta, but if you go, order this. I'm telling you. I never recommend a chicken dish anytime, any place. Once in a blue moon, this is one of those times. Okay? So, if you're ever in the Farmingdale area, go check out Vespa. Tell them Uncle Tommy sent you. Okay, a little bit more on the Pub and Grub review. I've just recently found out that they will be opening a Jersey Mike's just down the road from me in West Hempstead at the Nassau Plaza. Now, I'm not a fan of chain sandwich places, but I got to tell you, I've been pretty curious to go in there and try this place. Mainly because of the Danny DeVito commercials. They look so fucking good. It looks like a good sandwich. It kind of reminds me of Primo's from Philly. Now, nothing will ever be Primo's. Nothing will ever beat Primo's. And I'd put Primo's up against any regular deli any day of the week. I did have Jersey Mike's once. Many, many, many moons ago in their infancy when I was in Jersey. I couldn't tell you if I liked it or not. I don't remember if I liked it, but I don't think I hated it. So I kind of need a little refresher. But, it's a traditional Italian-style sub shop. They do cheesesteaks now. So I'm curious to see. Oh, there's a couple things I want to try. I want to try the cheesesteak. I want to try the traditional Italian sub. If it's like any of the, Italian sub joints down on the Jersey Shore, it can't be bad, Because there was a couple of sandwich shops down there that I used to, haunt back in my Jersey Shore days. That if it's anything like that, we should be okay. So when that's open, I don't know when, I'll be setting up a review on that as well. Okay, kids, on What the Fuck Is That? We are going to talk about the Fettermans. Okay, so, John Fetterman, brand new senator. Here's a picture of his fucking family. Holy shit, I've never seen, look, these people, I've never seen people so gruesome in my life. Now, granted, I get it. They're from PA. Not too many, runway models coming out of Pennsylvania, but shit, they don't fucking look like that. Don't these fucking people own a brush or an iron or something? I mean, first of all, him and his wife, I don't get it. Like, she's not a 10. Like, I mean, she's not bad looking. For him, that's a 10. For like regular people, she's maybe a 4, 4.5 on a good day. But I don't. I didn't even realize he had children until I saw this fucking picture. I'm like, oh my god, they're all fucking hideous. I can't imagine how they procreated because the kids are all fucking mutants too. The wife is this little itty bitty thing. First of all, I do feel bad for her because he looks like he smells. Okay, I'm gonna say he looks like he fucking smells. His brain doesn't work anymore. He probably has horrific fucking breath. I mean, I guarantee you, he smells like, on a regular day, he smells like horse shit and rancid cottage cheese. His breath probably smells like fucking hot garbage. Can you imagine this big fucking galoot on top of this little Brazilian thing, breathing and sweating and spitting? His cum face has to be horrific. I mean, he's horrifying to look at when he's not doing it, when he's not ejaculating. Could you imagine? He probably makes weird fucking sounds, spittle all over this poor girl's face. She must cry herself to fucking sleep every night. I'm telling you, she had to be a mail order bride from fucking Brazil. Got there, saw this fucking animal, and I mean, sweetheart, is the fucking green card really worth it? I mean, Brazil's nice, isn't it? And the only reason she doesn't escape is because I think he fucking hotboxes her every night until she slips into a coma and wakes up and he's still there. I mean, makes sense. His ass lines up perfectly with her face. He probably goes, and then she falls down. He puts her in the bed and then sleeps on top of her. Probably takes one of his shoes and weighs her down. Now, she's bisexual. So she says. I don't blame her. I just hope she has better fucking taste when it comes to women. I mean, if she's picking women out that look like this fucking guy, this broad's got something fucking loose on her head. All right, kids on Right or Racist. Okay, so in 2006, Toronto Pride reported that gay men use condoms less frequently than heterosexual men when it comes to casual partners. Well, that's racist. And I was actually surprised by that myself. Gay men use condoms more consistently, about 75 to 80% of the time, when it comes to casual partners versus, straight people. However, it is worth noting that condoms tend to break more frequently during anal sex because of, more friction and shit. Pun intended. All right, kids, see a PSA. Well, the stupidity fairy has struck again. So the other day, I needed shower gel. Seems like a pretty routine thing, right? Shower gel. So I go into the CVS. Now, this whole fucking thing should take no more than 5, maybe 10 minutes if there's a line. You walk down the aisle, you grab your shower gel, you go to the self-checkout, you swing it across the barcode, put your debit card in, boop, 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 boop. Out the door you go. Again, 5-10 minutes tops. I walk down the aisle, and this is what I see. They locked up the fucking shower gel. Now, I wasn't in Beirut. I wasn't in the middle of fucking Queens. I wasn't in Midtown Manhattan. I'm right here in Franklin Square, right in my own neighborhood. It's perfectly fine. There's no crime here. They're locking up the shower gel and certain things. So now that means you got to ring the fucking bell and wait for somebody, one of these momos that works in the CVS. Have you seen what works in CVS? Nobody's mistaking these people for doctors. They're lazy. It's like step and fetch, okay? And they're understaffed, grossly understaffed. Not for this shit, okay? So I'm ringing the thing. Nothing. Ringing it again. No, and it's just help in aisle 14. So you hear it coming. Nobody's even. I'm ready to pick up the table next to me and smash the fucking glass and just take my shower gel. Okay, I don't see why I gotta wait here, like I'm catching a fucking train for 15-20 minutes because there's only one cashier in the joint. She's got to cash out a bunch of retards to come over to me. You understand what I'm saying? So when this girl gets over to me, I'm fucking furious. I said, when did you start this stupid shit? She said, oh, after the first of the year. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Get rid of it. I'm like, you guys are grossly understaffed for this stuff. It's stupid. Next time I come in, I'm going to smash the fucking glass and take what I need. I said, why would you put this here? She said, well, to stop theft. I said, theft? Is anybody shoplifting here? I said, this is what you do. You get a security guard and a brick, and you put them in the front. You see someone stealing something, you take the brick, you throw it at their fucking head, and you smash their head open. And you drag them while they're still bleeding outside, and you leave them right on the curb with a little sign that goes shoplifter. Yeah, everybody's got to step over this person now when they come into the store. They'll think twice about shoplifting, and then you don't need the little fucking thing that's shower gel. The medications, the aspirins and everything, those are fine. People, you're locking up the shower gel. 22 minutes I'm in the store because I needed shower gel. I had to wait for somebody to come and unlock the fucking thing. Now, I haven't been to Rite Aid or Walgreens or any of these other fucking places. But this is just stupid. Okay? It's just fucking dumb. Now, Lisa, if you're listening, tell me the name of whose ass I have to kick to fucking reverse this stupidity. Okay? Because this is just dumb. My friend's sister runs a CVS somewhere. She's a manager. I would imagine she probably knows exactly whose name I have to address in future correspondence with the CVS Corp. But this is fucking ridiculous. It's just stupid. Anyway, kids, stay COVID-less. No mask, don't ask. Haters can kiss my ass. And remember, who loves you, babe? It's been your Friday wrap-up. I'll see you when I see you. Salud.